The Battle of Agincourt, The History and Legacy of the 100 Years' War's Most Famous Battle by Charles River Editors, narrated by Colin Fluxman. Introduction. Although it ended over 550 years ago, the 100 Years' War still looms large in the historical consciousness of England and France, even if the name of the famous war is a misnomer. Actually, a series of separate conflicts between the English and French monarchies, interspersed with periods of peace, its historical image is an odd one, in part because its origins were based on royal claims that dated back centuries, and the English and French remained adversaries for nearly 400 years after it ended. That said, the war was transformative in many respects, and the impact it had on the geopolitical situation of Europe cannot be overstated. While some might think of the war as being a continuation of the feudal tradition of knights and peasants, the 100 Years' War revolutionized Western European warfare, and it truly helped to usher in the concept of nationalism on the continent. In England, it is remembered as a period of grandeur and success, even though the English lost the war and huge swaths of territory with it, while the French remember it as a strategic victory that ensured the continued independence of France and the denial of English hegemony. The legacy of the war has lived on ever since, helping determine how England became politically severed from the continent, how the knightly chivalric tradition slid into irrelevance, and how battlefield dominance can still leave a nation a loser in war. The village of Agincourt in French, is located in the Pas de Calais, about 50 miles south of Calais, near the French border with Belgium. It has a population of around 300, and, but for one event, would otherwise be an obscure French settlement. Of course, that one event was the 100 Years' War's most famous battle, the Battle of Agincourt, which served as a fine representative of all the changing trends in warfare and geopolitics in France. By the time the two sides fought at Agincourt, archers formed a special part of the English army beneath the men-at-arms, but above the ordinary infantry. They wore leather body armor, sometimes with metal plates and helmets or chainmail hoods. For close combat, they carried swords, mallets, and daggers, including the misericord, a special type of dagger designed to slip between the armor plates of a fallen enemy and finish him off. The glory days of the heavily armored mounted knight had long since passed, and at Crécy and Agincourt.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?